Welcome to Do You Wanna Dance with Sophia in Sapphire. Learn how simple it is to go from wallflower dreamer to confident center of the stage dancer. Whether it's the first dance as husband and wife or another option for date night, we'll help you go from nerdy to flirty, jumpstarting your dancing journey and transforming your experience into a personal expression of what makes you, you. And now, your host for Do You Wanna Dance, Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome to the Do You Wanna Dance radio show. It's a beautiful day here in Las Vegas, and I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you are listening live on VegasAllNightRadio.com. This whole show is about inspiring you, helping you get out and jumpstart your dancing journey, and to make the most of your first dance experience. We have tips, tricks to show you how to get from nerdy to flirty on the dance floor, insights on healing benefits of dance, and intriguing reflections on life itself, which could very well start with the first dance on your special wedding day. Today we will be exploring the healing benefits of dance from the extreme to the more subtle, with stories and techniques that will provide you with insight on how to attain the most valuable benefits from dance and make the most use out of your first dance experience. Our co-host today is Magic Al Jensen. Hello and welcome onto the show.
Hi, Sophia. How are you today?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
I am doing awesome as always. It's great to be in the studio with you. I love Wednesday afternoons.
Oh, our special guest we're having come join us shortly. She is the bee dancer and bee queen.
The bee queen, that's right. Not bee movies, but the bee queen.
The
as
bee
in
queen.
B-E-E.
That's
flying.
it. Her name is Sara Mapelli, and she's originally from Oregon. Right now she's building a retreat center in Mexico, and she will be sharing her story and why she chooses to dance with 12,000 bees at a time.
Yeah, I think she's just nuts. I mean, 12,000 bees? I freak out when I see one bee in the backyard at my house.
I freak out too, but she says that there are some sort of healing benefits from doing such a thing.
And I've seen the pictures and the video, and I think that she has something here. I mean, it's very intriguing, and I, for one, am looking forward to finding out more about Sara Mapelli, the bee dancer, the bee queen.
Yeah, and so the first thing, actually, when I saw this video, first thought that came into my mind was why? And I was just so captivated. I wanted to know more. I did read some comments that people had, and, you know, a lot of people, you know, say it's stomach churning, but what's fascinating to me is how she could do it without injuring herself or even dying, because when I was looking at her YouTube video on the sideline, I was seeing videos of people on their deathbeds from being attacked from bees. So stay tuned, because we will bring the bee queen onto the show shortly after our first commercial break. But let's kind of briefly talk about last week and how it perfectly segues into today's show, because we were talking about finding our joy and stepping outside of the box.
Right.
And we had Rick and Janae Bennett on the show. If you do miss a show, remember, we do have archives. So please just visit SophiaInSapphire.com, and we have an entire radio blog on there just for you. So, on to some current event news. We did have our field trip.
Last Saturday night. Gold Coast, right?
At the Gold Coast. We went to Salsa Night.
Salsa. Yeah. I just like to say salsa. Love saying salsa.
We
and
do know this.
How did the Salsa Night go?
I have to say, I do love this venue. They have a great dance floor. It kind of is right in the center, in front of the stage where there's a live band.
All right.
And then there's a banister all around. There's tables all around. It's clean. It smells good. The decor is great for dancing. You know, they have a center disco light, so it feels kind of special.
So how was the band? That's what I want to know.
The band was really good. You know, there were different tempos, so, you know, even the beginner dancer could get out there, the more advanced dancer can get out there. One of the cool things was that we got a table right by the banister, and we had a great view, front row view of the dance floor. And my students, I think, for the first time got to see me dance in action.
Really? In real time, real life situation?
Yeah, and I don't know how, but the dancers there sniffed out that, I was a professional dancer, and so they were trying to show off for my students. But it was really cool, to be spontaneous on the dance floor, to be able to dip or to do tricks or, a slice with your foot action or a flick here or there, and it's like a movie.
All those little things that mean that you are a professional, like you know the difference between amateur and professional, and you got the moves.
Yeah. Well, it's also about the fun, too.
Well, absolutely. So how many students did you have? Now, this is basically, I don't like to call it a graduation, but it's kind of like a celebration.
It's a celebration
of your Monday
yeah.
night meetup program, because for the entire month of April, every Monday night in April over at the Ritz, you focused on salsa. And then
correct.
At the end of the month, you said, okay, everybody, we're going to go to this location, this time, this date, this place, and we're going to put our training into the real life situation that you're going to have, next week if you want to go out dancing, and this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So how many students came along?
We had about maybe 15
Awesome.
come, which is a good amount. We have different ranges come to our classes, but
In terms of levels of development?
yeah, and also participation. The best if you come every week for a month. That's
Sure.
a series class. And then at the end, you come out with me and we take a field trip. What's nice is that you already have dance partners that come along with you. You have friends. It's really intimidating. I saw some of my students were sweating bullets.
Really?
But, I invited some of them to dance. And, at first they're really nervous. But, when you kind of just start listening to the music and getting into the zone, it's less about, technique and perfection, and it's more about really enjoying it.
Exactly. Now, you bring up an interesting point. Let me ask you a question about protocol. Generally speaking, it's the gentleman who asks the lady to dance.
Right.
But in today's environment, is it acceptable for the lady to ask a potential gentleman to dance?
It's acceptable. I don't like doing it just because I like the chivalry.
Sure.
And to be honest, it's kind of difficult because guys do get turned down a lot. Guys, not only to ask to dance, but, girls are so eager to say no. I feel that they get discouraged. So if I a guy that's really good on the dance floor, I try to get noticed and
a little
make
gleam
sure,
in your eyes.
make sure
you say
he knows that he can ask me to dance. Or if I have to, I might, ask him. But I make it known that I'm danceable and that I'd like to dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do that, a gleam in your eyes?
Yeah, it's a gleam
nice,
in the eye.
A nice look? Or...
It's a double wink with a gleam in the eye and a little smirk here and there.
I need to be clued into those details because that's part of the dance world that I don't yet understand.
Oh, what's that exactly?
The cues. I mean,
cues.
So if I'm looking around the room, I should be able to pick up on the cues of those ladies who would be open to dancing with me.
Well, it's not that subtle, to be honest. When I was sitting down at the table with my students, there were a bunch of us. And, it's very apparent to everyone that I was chatting with a group of friends. But guys would still come up to me, tap me on the shoulder, and expect me to go dance with them. And it's like I was in the middle of something. So I'm usually, I try not to say no. I usually don't because, I appreciate somebody asking me to dance.
Sure.
But in this particular setting, I was there for my students.
Sure.
So I did decline, or I did say later, which is totally okay. But
Right.
make sure you do mean it. Don't just say later and not mean it.
Exactly.
If you don't want to dance, just say no. But that's what happened. There was no gleam in my eye at the club on Saturday. Guys just tapped me on the shoulder. As soon as I turned around, they gave me their hand and expected me to walk down onto the dance floor.
Yeah.
And, what's interesting is I want to let all of you out there know, all of my listeners, that the quality of a dance night out is not on how many moves you know or how much you'd like to show off, because I danced with a couple guys, and they all knew a lot of moves, but the guy who did the most moves with me was the most unpleasant to dance with just because he was so jerky and he was so eager to do the next step. I mean, in the twirls, we were twirling so fast and he was just so unaware of me sometimes and where I was at that I got even hit in the head.
Did you really?
And I'm like, I don't want to dance with this guy. And he's dipping me. And I'm like, I don't want to be dipping with this guy. But it's all in the fun. Of course, I'll do it. But, he asked me to dance again. And it's like, I don't know if I want to dance with you again.
Thanks, but I need to kind of space myself out and share myself with lots of other people.
Oh, that's the thing. And so I enjoyed dancing with the guys that kind of did pay attention to, me, my balance, my comfort level. Did I complete my move before we go into the next one instead of going bam, bam, bam?
Exactly. Now, that was Saturday night. I want to go back 2 nights prior to when you were down in Los Angeles.
That's right.
Because we have not had a conversation. I mean, normally in pre-production meeting, we find out details of what's been going on. But I asked you, but I never did get an answer. How did things go? First of all, tell our listeners what you did in Los Angeles last Thursday evening.
I attended the Emerald Ball.
The Emerald Ball.
So this is a gigantic competition. It's 6 days long, all levels, kids that are called Teddy Bear Division, to seniors, to Pro-Am, to professionals, to just amateurs, all levels, all ages, and it's just a competition that goes from 7 in the morning till midnight almost every day. And the best of the best are there. There's tons of people, rounds after rounds, and it was really great to see a lot of great dancers come together, and you can kind of feel the energy from the dance floor. So that was quite an experience. We have some pictures I'm going to be posting.
All right. Now, you competed in which division?
We compete in professional rhythm, Rising Star.
Rising Star, you and Eddie.
Me and Eddie, yes.
Okay, your professional dance partner.
Right.
And you went on Thursday. What time did you get to hit the floor?
Actually, it was an early night, and I was surprised that we were on time. Usually these things can run up to an hour late, and you don't even know. Or early. Can you imagine?
No, because I know sometimes you've been out as late as 11 o'clock. I mean, getting on the dance floor at 11.
Sometimes it's as late as 2 o'clock in the morning. But this time was pretty normal. We got all dutied up, took the drive down there, got the fake tan on, got, the $3,000 dress on, got the hair, got the makeup, got the glitz, all for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Is about a round.
Wow. And
then it's over. Unless you dance another round. And then you kind of go up through the finals. There's a quarterfinal, semifinal, final. There's just tons of rounds and rounds and rounds. So we danced really strong. It was our first big competition. We got a lot of pictures. Please check it out on Facebook. And you'll get a little more there.
So how did you do? That's what I want to know.
We did really well. We danced really strong. I have to say, with each competition, my personal goals and Eddie's goals are to dance better than the last one.
Right.
So if we do feel progress, that is the primary goal right now. As a new competitive couple, you want to be able to assess the progress from competition to competition.
Know that you did better this time than
results
the time
in terms
before.
of results, that takes years, or at least a year or two for a professional couple. The thing is, there were really neat couples out there that really gelled, and some of them been dancing for 6 years together, and you could tell it's like they're almost related or something.
Joined at the hip.
They mesh in and out, and you could tell that there is no rough edges. I mean, even if they weren't dancing their routine, you wouldn't be able to notice.
Really? Now, you're not on the floor by yourself. There's several other dancing couples at the same time.
Tons of couples out there. Floor craft is really important. So
you don't wipe out other couples?
There was a girl in the Latin professional Rising Star. She fell.
Really?
On her bum. And she's a top dancer. She actually placed. She ended up placing.
Really?
But I was really surprised, like, how she must have felt. And she got right back up. Of course, it was showtime. It didn't even look like she fell, but on her back, so.
Wow.
It happens. All these things happen. If you fall, though, you do not get docked. However, if you do lose your balance, that's another thing.
Really?
So now you know, Al.
Now I know. I know the rest of the story. So who is it we have coming up after break?
So we have the Bee Queen coming up. She dances with 12,000 bees at a time. She says that this is a healing thing. We have her story next after this short commercial break. Stay with us.
get up and dance while we take a quick break for these commercial messages.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway.
Here's what real people are saying about Sophia's 10-lesson dance challenge.
I never in a million years thought that I would be able to salsa.
I now go out dancing with ease and even enjoy dancing with Sophia in exhibitions and show numbers.
Our wedding dance specialist from Sophia and Sapphire was amazing, patient, and taught us the dance moves progressively, and in a way that someone with no dance experience, like us, could still learn and make it look great.
I finally became a babe magnet.
For more information on the 10-lesson dance challenge, check out SophiaInSapphire.com. Come on, get dancing at SophiaInSapphire.com.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me every week for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. Join my How to Dance in Real Life Situations meetup at meetup.com and visit SophiaInSapphire.com for more information.
Do You Want to Dance is brought to you by Sophia in Sapphire. Experience the bliss of dance, whether preparing for the first dance of the rest of your life as husband and wife, or gaining the confidence to enjoy the dance floor on date night. Sophia and her team of dance specialists will help you feel alive, reconnected, and invigorated through all types of dances. From beginners to advanced students, Sophia will help you experience the therapeutic, medicinal, and transformative benefits of dance. Get on the dance floor. Get in a game. Go from nerdy to flirty with Sophia in Sapphire. Listen to Do You Want to Dance Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on Vegas AllNet Radio. And check out SophiaInSapphire.com for more information. Or give Sophia a call at 702-907-7002. That's SophiaInSapphire.com. And the Do You Want to Dance radio show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on Vegas AllNetRadio.com.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Do You Want to Dance radio show. This is your hostess, Sophia, and co-hosting with me today is Magic Al Jensen.
Hi there, Sophia.
So today our topic is dance as healing and enduring pain maybe sometimes to experience healing. Now, Al, it's kind of counterintuitive to think that in order to heal we have to experience pain, but do you have any experience with that at all?
Any experience with pain?
Through pain, experiencing healing.
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, I'm a spiritual person, and I believe that in order to feel, joy, you have to have experienced sorrow. And,
yes.
And in order to, feel, the fullest, you have to experience pain. You have to understand what pain is all about. And the healing process is an important thing. The mind has to heal, the body has to heal. And I think when we are going to speak with the bee queen, the bee dancer here in a moment, she's going to be talking about healing both the spirit and the body.
Yeah, I think so. And the reason I asked this question is because I am assuming here, but I do think that dancing with those bees is painful because they do probably sting.
I would think so. But let's ask her.
Okay, so welcome on to the show. This is Sara Mapelli, bee dancer, bee queen. She's here with us in the Do You Want to Dance studio. Welcome to the show, Sara.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here.
So you are a beekeeper, an artist, a healer, and a dancer, and you have a captivating story about your dancing with bees.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about that. I saw your video online. That's how I first heard about you, and you dance with 12,000 bees. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Definitely. I call it a bee blouse.
A bee blouse?
And I started dancing with bees in 2001, and it was for a photo shoot that I was incorporating into a mixed media two-dimensional piece. So in the first dance, there was only the photographer and the bee professor I worked with, and it was not videotaped. So the dance that you're seeing on YouTube is the second dance, which was done for the movie Queen of the Sun, which is a movie about biodynamic beekeeping.
Huh. So you dance quite calmly in your video. Tell us, please, is this a calm experience? Are you, like, I know you said something about being in a meditative state. Are you in pain at all?
Well, the first dance, I wasn't in pain. I didn't get stung. The second dance that you've seen, I got stung 16 times throughout the dance.
Wow.
Ouch.
It was the weather. Yeah, it was really painful, especially it happened right on my lip right away.
Oh, my
and there
gosh.
was nothing I could do because we had lots of movie cameras. So I just had to work through it. I had no choice but to sort of connect to my higher source and transform that pain into becoming very meditative and kind of leaving my body in a way, because the sound is so loud. It's like being inside a dryer almost. They're so loud.
Wow. Being inside
So
a dryer. Wow.
Like a dryer or a tornado.
Oh, wow.
The buzzing, and if you've ever been near a hive, imagine it opened and like on your body. It's quite loud. And then it's also painful when they start to land, because they have to pinch to stay on. The lower layer pinches to stay on, and then the other bees hang on to the lower bees.
So can you tell us, please, aside from this being a painful or even scary experience, if not for you, for us watching you, what are the healing benefits? I know you've correlated healing with dance. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I've been doing healing work for about 24 years, and when I started dancing with the bees, I just felt the similarity of working on a person and doing energy work with a person. Really, it's not that painful. It's just you have to sort of get over the initial pain of them holding on to you. For me, it's like a duet. We actually have together. We're having this experience. Their wings are really powerful. They push me one way, and I resist, and we move together.
So how long do you dance with them, and do you dance without clothes for them to attach to you?
Yeah. Otherwise, they would get tangled, and they would get angry.
So that's why you call it a bee blouse, because it actually looks like you're wearing clothes, but it's just a whole garment full of bees.
Right.
So how long do you
I have them on
dance?
for about 2 hours.
Oh, okay, 2 hours.
Yeah. And the third dance we just finished, and the video will be coming out on YouTube in about a month. I didn't get stung. It was a completely different experience, because I've had enough experience working with the bees that I felt so completely comfortable, and I don't really want them to get off. I really feel a really beautiful bond is created.
Huh. So what do you want our listeners to know about your dance with bees? What do you want to share with them?
I really want people to stop fearing nature. The first piece we did this for was sort of exploring caring for the whole society instead of satisfying one selfish individual. So if we could take that micro idea and sort of place it on top of what we need to do for the planet at the moment and start caring for each other instead of trying to hoard everything.
So how do you recommend we might do that?
Well, as far as caring for the bees and the population of the bees, that will help us with our food chain, which is feeding. You can do things in your own personal space. You can plant flowers for the bees. You can set out a bowl of water and put rocks in it so that they can drink. They get really thirsty when it's hot. If they're in the city, it's hard for them to find water. You can buy local honey from your farmers, and then just sort of kind of take a step back and look at how this species works together. And everyone has a job, and everyone supports each other.
So you do this bee dance to bring awareness to the bees, perhaps to the depopulation of bees in the last years, and to bring an awareness, maybe to the significance of their existence in our lives?
Yeah. And I really am looking forward to future bee dances where we really go to different countries and we work with beekeepers and we do dances and we create food and feasts that are pollinated by the bees and old recipes. I think lots of old information is being lost about the bees. I mean, we've been connected to the bees since the times of the Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
They're very much like cats and chickens, so we really depend on them.
Sure, they certainly are important components of our ecosystem. Now, Sara, you said the first dance that you did with bees was unfortunately not filmed, but the second one is what we see right now on your website. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were in Oregon at the time?
Exactly.
Okay.
And same with the third dance, and I'm editing it right now. I'm almost done editing.
And that was in Oregon as well, is that correct?
Yes.
And now you're in Mexico, as I understand, central Mexico?
Right.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But the question that comes to my mind is, how in the world do you let the bees know that you want to dance with them? I mean, I'm assuming they don't come up and tap on your shoulder and say, "May I have this salsa, please?" I mean, how in the world does...
I would love that.
Well, yeah, exactly. But how in the world do you communicate the fact that, what you want to the bees?
Right. I wear a pheromone of the scent of 100 queens. It's an oil that has been specifically made by a professor I work with. I have had dances where I've had to actually wear the queen in a cage because of the weather. And sometimes I've worn a wax medallion impregnated with the pheromone.
So that pheromone basically sends out the message that, come on over, I want you to get comfortable with me. Is that right?
Right. So they know me, and they know that I'm a queen, but I'm not their queen. But this queen needs to be protected no matter what. That is their job.
So their job is to
give their life for their queen.
So their job is to swarm upon you and provide you with warmth, with comfort, and protection. Is that right?
Right. And together we move. I kind of am like a tree or something swaying in the wind, right, that they've attached to. And at times I can put my hands in and move them around. And one experience for me is that looking down and seeing all of them moving, they move really fast. It's as though my body is expanded and I'm seeing my cellular structure. So that was really an amazing experience as a healer to see what the cells really are like. You need your whole cellular structure.
I can imagine now, 12,000 bees. I mean, that's got to weigh more than just, a few ounces. I mean, how heavy is a coat or a blouse, rather, of 12,000 bees?
I think it's about 3 or 4 pounds.
That's all?
And they're also moving, They're also moving around. At one point, I had about 8 inches thick under my armpit.
Oh, my God.
So you have to be really careful how you adjust your body. So you get to work a lot in, like, Pluto style.
Because
you're adjusting in slow motion.
So is it fair to assume that, obviously you don't want to harm them, but, in some of your movements, if you were to harm, some of them, would they retaliate in some fashion in mass?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, they don't want to die. If they sting me, they die. They know that. It's more that if something gets, someone gets stuck, then that's a problem. So that's why I don't wear a top.
Okay, Sara, we have to go to our halfway break here. Would you be able to stay on the line with us? We have a few more questions we'd like to ask you.
Definitely.
All right.
Enjoy that.
Stick with us, Sara. We will be back with Sara Mapelli, the bee dancer, the bee queen. You're listening to the Do You Want to Dance radio show. Back after these brief messages.
Feel free to get up and dance while we take a quick break for these commercial messages.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia and Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me at 6 p.m. each Monday night in May to learn the Cha-Cha at the Ritz, located at 3360 East Flamingo Road, for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. For more information, please visit sophiainsapphire.com.
Hi, Sophia. It's Roxanne. I just wanted to let you know my husband and I wanted to do a first dance at our wedding, and we found Sophia and Sapphire online. We had a total of 10 lessons in 3 months and put together a routine that was easy for us to learn, tailored to our first song, and that made us look good at our wedding. Our wedding dance specialist from Sophia and Sapphire was amazing, patient, and taught us the dance moves progressively, and in a way that someone with no dance experience, like us, could still learn and make it look great. Scheduling was flexible, and we were able to conveniently meet at a studio located closest to us. Thanks, Sophia.
Planning a wedding? Want a spectacular, one-of-a-kind reception party experience? All Events Production is ready to make your event a unique production. From DJ and music to photo booth and even lighting, they will keep your guests engaged and entertained from beginning to end. Your wedding is transformed into a truly wow event. From live broadcasting for those who can't be there in person, to live texting, dancing in the clouds, snow, and all sorts of special effects. Your special day will truly be one of a kind. Contact All Events Production at 702-348-6641 or visit them online at alleventsproduction.com. That's 702-348-6641 or alleventsproduction.com.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the Do You Wanna Dance show. This is your hostess, Sophia in Sapphire. In studio today with me is Magic Al Jensen.
Hi there, Sophia.
And we have a very special guest with us on the phone from Mexico. Her name is Sara Mapelli. She is a queen bee, bee dancer, and she dances with 12,000 bees at a time and considers it a healing. So welcome back onto the show, Sara.
Hey, thank you.
So let's just throw this question out there. How did you get into this sort of work? I know you said you first started dancing with bees because there was a movie you were shooting for, but before then, I think you did have kind of affinity for the healing arts. Is that correct?
Right, yes.
So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. I've been doing energy work with people for over 24 years. I call it transparent body energy realignment. So throughout my work with people, I started working with people on the dance floor. I call it Dance Your Point of Origin. And we work through traumas on the dance floor.
Really?
I make a specific class for their trauma or body issue or injury or illness.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Okay, so if for some reason you came to me because you lost someone that was really important in your life and you can't get through it, we would, maybe it's a family member, we would dance a past memory and explore going through a past and present and future body in the dance studio and incorporating things that could help you move through it. Sometimes we use speaking, sometimes we draw. I make a whole dance music set for them. Yeah, it's really an amazing opportunity for people who don't know how to be in their body and have a one-on-one communication with
Do you do this at some sort of retreat center, or how can people be a part of your dance as healing classes?
There's lots of different studios in Portland that I use. So they would make an appointment with me if I was in the state, and then I would set that up for them.
So is this sort of like modern dance, or is it just like intuitive dancing, just moving your body? Is there music? What's a typical
music? I would consider it more intuitive moving. Yeah, because I've worked with people who don't feel safe on the dance floor. So it's the opportunity to be in a whole beautiful space with yourself and with someone who just wants to make you safe to move through a traumatic experience.
All right. Now, Sara, am I correct in assuming that you had a history with bees before you integrated the dance? I mean, I'm assuming that you're a beekeeper of sorts?
Right. I'm a beekeeper and a swarm catcher. So I get phone calls if there's a swarm somewhere in the house or just a wild swarm, and I go and catch them and take them home and give them a home.
Really? And how, I mean, I'm fascinated by that. Can you tell me, if I had a swarm of bees in my house, in the tree by my house or the eaves of my house, how in the world would you do that? I mean, I would go stay at a hotel 20 miles away and give you a phone call and, the address of my house, because, I mean, that just...
Let me tell you the funniest one I've done, which was in the hugest maple tree. It must have been up 26 feet on the very tip of a branch sticking out. And we arrived with a really short ladder. And so we started knocking on the neighbors' doors, and we found a couple teenagers with an extension ladder, which wasn't tall enough. So then a monster truck drove by. We tied the ladder to the wheel of the truck, and I climbed up to the very top with a paper bag and knocked the bees into the bag and climbed down.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty amazing.
Obviously, OSHA was not in the neighborhood that day. That doesn't sound like the safest method to me. Oh,
no, but I really impressed those teenage boys.
I can imagine.
Wow.
I can imagine you would. So a paper bag and a ladder is pretty much your tools of the trade.
Yeah, paper bag, and then you have a hive with you if you're lucky, or even the cardboard box. You just make a little hole. You hopefully got the queen when you sort of hit the branch, so they all fall as a clump.
Okay.
Wow.
And you close
just
up the box at the bottom of the tree, and then you have to wait for dusk for anybody who's been out looking for a new home to get inside, and they all collect when it's dark, and then I just come back at nighttime and pick up the box.
Really?
Huh.
So what role does smoke? Because I see that beekeepers will typically use smoke to calm the bees. Is that a correct assumption?
My thought about that always was that it made them think there was a forest fire, so they needed to hunker down.
Oh, okay.
That's how I always sort of interpreted it. Yeah, I do use that, but not very often.
But that works if they're
open my hives.
If they're a little crazy, a little nuts, a little too active, then you might use that. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
I might use it. I've started using incense because it's easier. You just light some incense and you just have it kind of sitting by the hive while you're working on the hive.
Okay.
And that doesn't make them totally over smoked.
And when's the last time you were stung by a bee?
Let's see, in August on my last dance. Well, I think she only stung me halfway. She got stuck in my pants.
Really?
I had some little lacings on the side of my hip, and she got a little stuck. But
now you're talking about honeybees, and please excuse my ignorance here, but I know that some insects that sting you, like hornets or wasps, can sting you one time, and then they'll leave their stinger in you, and then that's pretty much the end of their life. Is that the case with honeybees, or can they sting over and over? What's the process there?
No, they also die. Yeah.
Do they? Oh. So they've got one sting in them, and that's pretty much take that, and then they're out.
Yeah, they really don't want to sting you.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk about, how do you finish your dance? How do you take off the blouse?
Okay. Well, if I'm wearing a queen or a medallion, first we remove that and any earrings, and then I find a clearing in the space and lean over and jump up as hard and high as I can and just let them fall in a clump on the grass. And then I do that by hopping back and forth and back and then just jumping. And then there's like probably a couple hundred still left, and we take a little brush and brush them off. And in the last dance, somebody just happened to have a can of air. Like, hey, try this, and that was great. 'Cause then they were just sprayed off, and then they moved right back to the queen.
Wow. Now you're in.
So now I'll travel with a can of air.
Yes, you're in central Mexico now, and I understand you're building. Tell us what you're building down there. Where in central Mexico you are, and what you're building right now.
Okay, we're in Guanajuato, central Mexico, in the state of Guanajuato.
Okay.
We are building a retreat center. So far, we have finished the phase 1, which is 4 apartments. Phase 2 is a dance movement studio with another floor of 2 dormitory rooms and a full kitchen, so we can hold up to 16 people to do movement retreats, visual retreats, literary retreats. Yeah.
So when is your project scheduled to finish up?
Well, it's Mexico, so I have totally given up on having a timeline. It's been really helpful for me not to have one that got too stressful. So I'm hoping, in the next 3 years.
Oh, in the next 3 years. I saw some
I
pictures
would love
online.
it to be sooner. It just seems to take a lot longer.
Yeah, and I really love some of the colors that you use. From what I saw in the pictures, there's like a view of the city.
It's an amazing view. It really is. And we are renting it right now, so it's open for rentals. And just to tell one amazing thing about the city is in October, they have a 3-week performance festival that is called Cervantino. And they bring a special, they sort of sponsor one country. And this year is Japan. So there'll be some incredible artists here performing. And then they sponsor one state of Mexico. And it's performances all day long, all night long, in many different theaters. So it's a great city.
How cool. So your retreat center is primarily for dance and movement, and using dance and movement as a healing process for people who have experienced trauma or have some sort of sickness or blocks that they're trying to work through. Can you give us maybe a case study, or kind of give us a little visual of what a process of taking one of your dance classes might be?
Okay. Well, first I figure out what our focus is. I've had people tape off different sections of the room and say, this part of my section of my room is my past. And we dive deep into the trauma of the past experience. We take that same experience and we apply it to the present, what's happening in the present that connects us to that past experience, so that we can learn to untangle those emotions or feelings. Then we move into a future. Sometimes I have people get into a time machine and they really experience the future. Sometimes we dance with our future partners or our future selves. And then at the end of that session, I will do an energy session to integrate the information.
Excellent. Hey, Sara,
and then I send people home with homework.
Well, of course. Sara, we're getting close to the end of our segment here. So for those who want to find out more about Sara Mapelli, the Bee Queen, where could they go on the World Wide Web to find out more information about you?
Okay. You can go to Sara Mapelli, Mapelli, beequeen.com, and there you'll find links to the Golden Bee Retreat Center, and my transparent body work, and the new news on the Bee Queen.
Very good.
And I'm on Facebook, and all of those are different pages. So.
Very good. So Sara Mapelli, thank you so very much for being with us today. That's Sara Mapelli, beequeen.com. MAPELLI, BEEQUEEN.com. Sara, it's been a delight. Thank you so much. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Sara.
So much.
All right.
Okay, I hope you come and teach in our retreat center.
We'll be in touch.
All right, we've got to go to our final break. You're listening to the Do You Want to Dance radio show on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Feel free to get up and dance while we take a quick break for these commercial messages.
Are you funny? Do you want to be funnier? Want more laughs from your speech, business presentation, or act? I'm Big Magic Al Jensen, and in addition to being a radio show host, I perform my comedy magic act on stages across Las Vegas and cruise ships around the world. I've consulted and coached humorous speech contest winners, stage performers, and business professionals who want to bring more humor to their conversations and presentations. I can do the same for you with my program, Funny Just Got Easier. One-on-one coaching, group classes, and workshops are available. Whether you want to be funnier in front of an audience or just in conversation, Funny Just Got Easier is the simple and quick way to kick up your humor. Check out funnyjustgoteasier.com for more information on personal coaching and workshop dates. That's funnyjustgoteasier.com.
Hi, I'm Larry Harris from Las Vegas. I want you to know about my experience with Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire. I signed up for her 10-lesson dance challenge to gain confidence, to learn the skills, to look like I knew what I was doing. Sophia made learning how to dance fun and easy. It turned out that by the end of the challenge, I wanted more, so I continued on with more lessons. Since then, I've gained enough confidence to go out into the social scene and even ask strangers to dance. I've made new friends and feel good about myself. The challenge paid off. I finally became a babe magnet. Because after all, everyone knows girls like a guy who can dance. Thanks, Sophia.
Are you looking for an all-inclusive, stress-free wedding venue? One with all the services to plan your perfect wedding. If so, you're looking for the Ritz of Las Vegas, family-owned and operated for more than 10 years. In addition to traditional events, the Ritz specializes in theme weddings from 1920s, glam goth, Star Wars, Harry Potter, masquerade, burlesque, or vintage Hollywood, just to name a few. Whatever your vision, the Ritz makes it a reality. For more information on the finest all-inclusive, stress-free wedding venue in Las Vegas, contact the Ritz of Las Vegas at 702-336-3626 or visit them at theritzoflasvegas.com. That's 702-336-3626 or theritzoflasvegas.com.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the Do You Wanna Dance show, everyone. This is your hostess, Sophia. With me co-hosting today is Magic Al Jensen.
Hi there, Sophia.
And we had a very special guest today, the bee dancer and bee queen that joined us and shared her story why she dances with 12,000 bees at a time and why she considers it healing. If you do want to see some pictures or the captivating video of this footage, do visit sophiainsapphire.com because I will be posting on the radio blog pictures, video, and tidbits from today's show. So
the answer to the question, do I want to dance with 12,000 bees, is unequivocally no.
But how do you know what you don't know?
Okay. That's a very valid question and one that I would normally be open to.
Okay.
But I am going to stick by my guns. No, I do not want to dance with 12,000 bees.
You know, one question that comes to mind is if the bee queen teaches others how to dance with bees, because she does state not to try this at home.
Well, of course, yeah. You don't want to try.
But does she educate people on how to dance with the bees?
Yeah, well, that would have been a good question to ask her. You know, if you're a beekeeper, perhaps, you know, you might be inclined to do that. She just has the unique background of, first of all, being a beekeeper. Right. And having the understanding of what motivates bees and how to move around them. And then she's also a dancer, an artist, and a healer, things like that. So she's just combined all of those aspects, which makes sense.
Yeah, and you know what? I think having the focus or the soundness inside your body to be able to endure such a thing, because you have to be in a special state of mind of serenity in order to cope with all that noisiness. I know she said that the bees sound like a dryer machine or.
Did you
of
hear
some
the
sort.
bees in the background? Because I swear, when she was on the line, I swear I heard
Is that
bees buzzing.
true?
I swear there were bees buzzing in the background.
I
Or was
don't
it
know
just
if
me?
That's true. I think that was you.
No, it sounded like it. So I mean, okay, she has to be, you know, in that place, in that zone. I would have to be in a lot of alcohol in order to even, you know, get close to that.
Oh, but so there is a chance. Now I know how. All right, Al. You're coming over for happy hour.
Lots of alcohol is what it would take.
But exploring the healing benefits of dance and really how there are no boundaries. Like, what is dance really, right? Except what it is simply is movement.
It's allowing the spirit to move your body, and the spirit generally motivated by music. In this case, it's motivated by bees, you know, an integral part of nature.
And she actually has to invite them to dance with her because,
Yes.
as you stated earlier, they don't ask her for a salsa.
Exactly. They don't come up and tap her on the shoulder. She has to put on, what was it, 100 pheromones of like 100 queen
Yes.
bees?
Of 100 queen bees.
Okay, I'm going to stay away from that cologne.
But apparently it was specially made.
Right.
For the queen bee.
But, yeah.
So, no?
It just freaks me out.
It freaks
I'm
you out.
sorry.
Al?
I mean, I was stung by a bee who flew in my car over on Paradise about 4 or 5 years ago, and it just freaked me out. I thought, you know, I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
You know, I have to share a bee story. I was driving out on the highway, 45 miles an hour. This was last summer, and I had my window rolled down.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to music, singing, and all of a sudden...
Chair dancing.
A bee stings my eye. So it's not my eyeball, but like really close. I thought I was blinded because I didn't open my eye. It was hurting so much. I mean, can you imagine if you're stung in the wrong place, or if you even fidget in the wrong way, how badly that could end up?
So let me ask you this. Is there a right place to be stung? I mean, as far as I'm
think
concerned,
so.
I mean, no, there's no
There's
right place
a
to be stung.
preference. I think there's a preference.
Okay, there's a hierarchy. There are places that if I had to be stung, there are some places I'd rather be stung than others. But, you know, bottom line is that's way down my list on physical things I wish on myself.
Well, but the one thing I have to say, so being stung by a bee in, you know, near my eye and driving that fast on the highway, I mean, I had to keep a calm because I was so disoriented.
Oh, yeah.
I was worried about crashing because I couldn't even see or what was going on. So the control and I don't know, I guess the focus or the meditation behind whatever allows you to endure that, but it must be totally a mind over matter sort of thing.
It's got to be. Got to be. So what's coming up this next Monday night?
All right. So Monday night is our cha-cha class. Please come on down to the Ritz. It's 3360 East Flamingo Road. We will be doing our cha-cha class. Join us, please.
All right.
Al, you're welcome to come watch
You know
or
what?
check it out.
I'm going to be coming very soon. I still got a couple things to do on Monday nights, but very soon I'll be coming out there.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, Al. Thank you, Queen Bee. You've been listening to the Do You Want to Dance radio show. Come on back next week at 4 p.m.
Thanks for listening to Do You Want to Dance? Tune in again next week for more interviews, advice, and insight into how you could go from nerdy to flirty and learn how simple it is to turn your dreams into reality. On the Do You Want to Dance radio show, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. right here on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
Views and opinions expressed on this program were those of the hosts and guests and did not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.